Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first session, and I hope that we can make it as meaningful for you as possible. My job as moderator is real simple. What's in their heads has to come out their mouth in 45 minutes. In actual fact, I'm going to try and do it in less time so that you have the time to interact with them. These are most remarkable people who've built their businesses, and they're a little bit wary of me because I'm not in their customer profile, their target group, age, gender, I suppose. Secondly, I'm a hardcore real estate person. I'm always wondering what on earth I'm doing up on this stage moderating such an august group of experts talking about direct to customer. And I'm thinking that we share the same customers. So without any ado, I'd like to ask Aditya, Ganesh, Chirag, Salila, and Pratik to join me on stage. You may want to stay standing. You may want to remain standing. Thank you. Gentlemen, so I'm always amazed when coming to retail conferences that the proportionality of gender representation is really acutely off point. When you consider that 60% of our customers, certainly from a shopping center point of view, are women. So I'd like to kick off by asking one of my esteemed panelists to respond to that point. How do they deal with gender and reaching their customers and customer success in their business? Gentlemen?
Yeah, that's...
Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Aditya Agrawal. I am the co-founder and CEO of Peetal, a brand that aims at reviving traditional brass, copper, bronze, kitchenware, cookware products. We deal in aesthetic and authentic kitchenware, cookware products, where the idea is that most of our products, which are in brass, copper, and kansa, are very good for your health, and they make a huge difference to the flavors of the food, as well as provide a lot of nutrition. All our products are handcrafted by artisans of Jandiala Guru Amritsar, who practice India's only UNESCO-listed craft form. As highlighted by Jonathan, it's a very valid point that even our customer base is 85% women, who are the end consumers of our products. And at the end of the day, we as a company as well, we make sure that we try to get in touch with each and every customer that we deal with, like in terms of their feedback, whether it's a positive feedback, negative feedback. And although the situation in the ecosystem is such that we can't see so many female founders also in the ecosystem, but I think one thing that is coming up is that a lot of, especially in our team, what we are seeing, the best sort of team members that we have are the females. Right? Even in customer support, they're the most empathetic, they're most patient, they're open to feedback, they're willing to learn more, right? So I think it's a shift that we are also seeing. In fact, my other co-founder is also a female herself, and I would say she's someone who we all look up to in the entire team as well, in terms of getting inspiration from her. And you know how she's someone who comes up with the most solid insights, has a most in-depth analysis of the business as well, right? So I think it is something that is changing for sure, right? It is something that, you know, for us, one thing that we always keep at bay is that we don't get biases in when we are judging our customers or seeing our customers. We try to make sure that, you know, whenever we are speaking to them, we go with them a very unbiased view. We try to understand their perspective, their reasoning, why they are using our products, what makes them use our products, etc. So we always try to be in their shoes, irrespective of, you know, whatever we have experienced. Like for me, in our business, I myself haven't stepped into the kitchen much, right? I haven't used cookware much before starting Petal, right? But after starting Petal, you know, whenever even we launch a product, we make sure that our entire team uses the product first, and then only we launch the product.
I have a question. It's a remarkable statistic. 85% of your customers are women. How are you going to solve for the men, for the males? What are you going to do to convert them to be your shoppers? And remembering that you're an online business, you don't have all the advantages that we have in the real estate environment.
Right. So I think, personally speaking, from our experience, I don't see a reason for us to convert them, like convert our customers into something else, right? Like from a perspective that we do have certain products that are suitable for males as well, like we have copper water bottles, or you know, we have Moscow Mule mugs, or other drinkware, other cookware that a lot of male chefs also buy from us, right? So we don't, from our end, make a conscious effort to necessarily change who our customer profiling is, right? But we try to change things internally in our business to make sure that whoever our customers is, we are able to fulfill their needs in what they want, right? So at the end of the day, we always make sure that, you know, let's not make the life of our customers difficult, right? Like same way in terms of gender, we also make sure that if a customer wants to buy a product from a particular channel, let them buy from there, right? We don't need to push them somewhere else or change the profile.
And the great concern in the topic for this panel is, how do you stay in business? How do you enhance your business? What's your superpower?
I think for us, it's about being very strong on the product and being very close to the customer in terms of making sure we are delivering the right kind of product and something that sets us apart from the entire industry, makes us strong and agile in terms of competition that is rising rapidly in our categories and most other categories in D2C. So I think for us, it's always been about being very strong on our product, strong to our ethos, and making sure we are very close to our customers.
Very good. Thank you. One of the challenges of being a moderator with 5 esteemed panelists is to make sure that everybody gets talk time. So no doubt we'll come back to you. I'm going to direct my second question to Ganesh, something that we were talking about earlier, and that is in line with the kinds of issues that exist, particularly in India, in respect to offline and online. And are there any rules that online businesses should explain to people in real estate, and likewise should real estate people explain to online people, so that there actually is this complete meshing of the respective businesses? What do you think the rules should be?
I am from a skincare background.
You need to...
Is it done?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I am from a skincare background. We have a skincare that is a natural and high efficacy skincare. When I do it online, the only thing I realize is that my customer cannot touch my product. So we have to explain it to him in the most better way, best way, that he understands what's the product. We have to make the look and feel of the product better. But what I've seen in skincare businesses, when they go offline, we have not gone offline yet, but when they go offline, it's a huge cash intensive business then. You have to pay for the rents, you have to pay for the staff. So what we expect from the real estate is they give us placements in some place where we are more visible. The rents should be lesser, or at least we must have a viable business model. You know, We have seen, like in Gurgaon, we have seen a lot of spaces that are lying vacant, but when we talk to them about rentals, they are not ready to bargain. You know, that's the problem we face when we go offline.
I love it when people always speak to me about real estate and shops, and the first thing they start with is rent. It's like a bad word, right? And my response, after being in the business for nearly 40 years, is that rent really represents anything up to 10% of your business. What about the other 90%? If rent represents 10% max of your business from a rent cost point of view, what about the rest of the business? 90% of the business is driving the return. Why is the obsession in your mind on rent and not on the business and business success?
My perspective was from a startup point of view. See, we are a startup. We are only here since 2 years.
Yes.
So I am not that much recognized brand as of today. I mean, we are not a 360 brand that, so therefore I have, even if I'm not profitable, the minimum loss that I can sustain, I can carry on the business. That's what we see when we go offline. That is why we go to certain, we are in modern stores right now, but we are not in general trade as of now. We are doing it through modern trades.
So you don't have any shops at the moment?
No, we do not. As of today, no, we do not have.
Do you count yourself as being lucky, or are you looking for real estate opportunities?
We are looking, but this is a journey that we'll have to carry on. I mean, it's a journey of 5 years that we'll have to carry on.
And would you say that on that journey, Ganesh, having part and parcel of business success means that you have to be both online and offline?
Of course, yes. I do agree. Offline is an integral part of the business. At a later stage, you'll have to...
And what is your measure for success?
There will have to minimum acceptability parameters that you will have to sell a minimum SKU. When the market calls for you, then you have to go for offline. When there is a market pull from the general public, when the general public starts asking in the malls, do you have this brand? That is the right time when we go offline, individual stores, independent stores.
And how will you get that information?
No, we have systems in place. We keep talking to modern trade people. We talk to general trade people. So we understand whether there is a pull or no, or it is in certain areas only as of now.
I've been listening very closely to what you've said. In the 30 seconds I've got, I want to ask the question and see if we can pop out the answer. If you're asking to your market, you'll never know how customers in shopping centers feel. To what extent do businesses online engage with real estate companies to know what's happening with the hundreds of millions of real customers like us who walk into the doors of shopping centers? How are you going to get to that market?
As of today, we are only online. So we have online things in place to get these datas. We are online, so we have forms, we have the companies that give us those inputs. But we have not tied up with any real estate company to take these data.
I'm giving nobody a plug, but I'm aware that there's a very big, powerful market research company in the room today. And I'm sure that they're listening with big flapping ears and thinking, there's an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I'd like to ask you, yes? What do you think are the learnings for your success? You're a successful business. You're in the shoe business. Yeah. You were explaining to me that you've got this incredible truck that goes from business park to business park, measuring people's feet, keeping it on record, so when somebody sees a pretty shoe, they can order it. Yeah.
We want to. We don't have it yet.
Oh, not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, but the previous discussion was all about AI.
Yeah.
Is that a measure? Introduce yourself, please, and is that a measure of your success?
Sure. So I'm Prateek Singhal, co-founder of Yoho. We are a footwear business, D2C brand so far, focused on comfortable footwear. AI, innovation is critical to any business, right? Product and innovation. Otherwise, why would customer come to us? Everyone is selling the same product on a same business model. There is no way a newcomer will succeed. So apart from product, right, as the business model, we are talking about real estate and other technologies. So we figured that returns are a big problem in a footwear business. And to be successful, especially in the online channel, where returns can range up to 30% of the overall goods sold. you lose the pricing competitiveness because each return order adds a cost to your order, to the overall pricing that a customer has to pay. So we are developing a technology which helps us store feet size of every Indian, which at a length and a breadth both level. Whereas in India today we sell shoes just at a length level like a UK 6 or a UK 7. So this helps us retain customers better, plus serve the right size itself so that there is lower chances of return. There's obviously returns of types that people order 5 shoes and then keep one and return the rest 4. That hopefully is solved by the right product pricing. But these kind of models we are developing to succeed in long term, because online and offline both have their own advantages, right? Offline has a touch and feel. There are some, consumer is becoming more and more nuanced. They will discover offline, buy online. They will build trust offline. They will buy online. So, so we have to solve for both channels parallelly, right? We have to be present offline, but we have to improve our profitability and our unit economics in an online level also. Plus, online always have an advantage of providing higher access in terms of the range that you can offer to a consumer, because in offline model, the storage costs, etc., start becoming prohibitive when you expand to wider geographies.
So, Pratik, yes. I've actually been online and I've looked at your incredibly diverse selection of shoes. And what worries me about a business that sells beautiful product like shoes is the fit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been married for 35 years too, and my wonderful wife, whenever she goes to buy shoes, which isn't very often, but it happens, and I'm with her, the first thing she says, and I was saying this to Pratik, is she takes up her leg and she says, "How does it look?" And my response is, how does it fit? Is it comfortable? How do you feel in your shoes? That's a wonderful story and issue about form over function or function over form. How do you deal with that in your business? Because people are buying online, but not in a position to feel and touch the merchandise. Your returns must kill your business.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a market trend, right? Like there is an acceptability of online channels, a certain acceptability. It wasn't there 10 years back. So today an online business is a lot more feasible than what it was 10 years back. Maybe it will be even more feasible 10 years later, right? Second, so for example, in footwear, around 25% of business has moved online. The whole industry, 25% is online. So for a smaller business, a new business, it's possible to operate just online, because there is a set of consumers who are comfortable working online or buying online only because of the pricing and because of the variety of the goods. And they are comfortable because they are able to return the goods. But on the flip side, as the business grows, you will exhaust the 25% buffer that you are operating in, and there is no other option going beyond online. For a large business, offline is not an option but a necessity, I think. So it depends on the phase of the company. It's just easier to operate online only when you are smaller, because offline brings its own set of challenges, like the working capital, the rent, the administration costs. In the online world, you have to, especially the people who are familiar with online world, right? You have to build some things digitally and procure the products, sell to a limited set of audience. You don't have fixed cost of rent. You don't have fixed cost of manpower added there. You don't have fixed cost of adding the fixtures in a store. This is your own stores when you go to MBO or the partner stores where you can be one of the goods being sold. They are very high margins. They have started taking costs to put your product on the shelf. So upfront costs are disproportionate in the offline world versus the online world. And hence, smaller businesses prefer to start, and that's the whole D2C ecosystem, to start online.
There's enough meat to what you've just said for a whole conference. You do realize it, of course. And I'm very grateful for you being so candid with this audience about what your issues have been and where the opportunities lie. It's clear that you've got a successful business. I want to now move on, if I may, because looking at the clock, making sure everybody has the same amount of speak time. Salil, I'd like to ask you, and I want to come back to the point about rules and about staying in business. What do you think are the key learnings from your business? If you can introduce yourself and respond. What do you think the rules need to be in respect to staying in business, having a viable, sustainable business?
Good afternoon. My name is Salil Kumar. I'm a Director of Business Management and Marketing for CRC Group. We have various segments of real estate, including retails. So incidentally, we are developing rather first of its kind experiential retail in NCR at Noida. See, like you says about sustainability of my business. See, the real estate, if you see in NCR, 95% people not able to survive because they did not do research well. Simply land cost plus construction cost, some profit and selling price. Incidentally, there are lot many factors, others are involved. And you have to be, for sustainability, you have to be purple cow. Not white cow, not black cow. You have to be purple cow. That means you have to stand apart. What experiences you are offering, new generations, what I told earlier, are very well ready to pay it off. You're talking about offline and online. I have a different view. You have a best of the food available at your doorstep, but you go out for the fine dining and you hardly find appointments there. Good restaurant, something like good in Delhi, they have 6-month waitings. So offline, if it is coupled with good experiences in retail, is bound to shine like anything. Because you have an apartment living culture, you want to go out. End of the day, weekend, it's as per the human nature, you have to exhale, you have to go out. And go out for what? Exercises, dining out, and shopping. Shopping is the compulsive things for women, whether needed, not needed. It's exhaling out, venting out their stress. That is psychology says. Every woman gets pleasure in shopping. So offline is currently 80-85% in India compared to 15-20% you're online. And there is a very mesmerizing fact. Online rises by 1-2%, but my generation, my young generation is India by the time rising to another 10%. So offline again increases because we have young population, best young population having disposable income in the world.
I want to focus us, if you don't mind, into how you think in order to survive, in order to be sustainable, to remain in business.
That I already said, you have to offer a experiential retail complex so that people are bound to come, number one. Number two, bound to prefer your destination compared to other destination.
Well, those rules apply
Yeah.
online and they apply offline.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's nice to be in the company of a real estate person.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm not going to steal any time from you. Suffice to say, ladies and gentlemen, that now I've got company, I feel stronger. There is something called the third place theory. It was developed by Ray Oldenburg in 1978. From a sociological point of view, he said that there were 3 places in people's minds, whether you be a woman or a gentleman. The first place is when you're at home. It's your most private. It's the place where you're on your own. The second place, in a nutshell, is the antithesis of being at home. You can't be private when you're in the workplace, and you have to work according to certain rules. That's the second place. And the third place is the place where you'd like to be when you're not at work and when you're not at home. And what we've always tried to do from an experiential retail point of view, as you've so perfectly articulated, is to create shopping centers and real estate and high streets as that third place. And that, I think, is food for thought. So my question is back to you. Do you think in the online, we know that in India, real estate shopping centers are doing a great job creating that third place for our customers. Do you think online they're doing the same? What do you think they could be doing in order to be successful, accommodating customers accordingly?
You have to repeat your question about online.
So, third place theory, first home, second work, third the place where you'd like to be when you're not at work and you're not at home. In order to offer a sustainable business, clearly shopping centers, physical real estate, does a pretty good job. Do you think, in your experience, that online is doing a similar good job?
Yes, very much. See, like my young co-traveler here, Pratik said, see, there are advantages, disadvantages, and requirements. Once you are a good new entrepreneur, online is very easy to start, require less of infrastructure, digital visibility, and you are able to ship. But again, what happens when you grow up? And then you learn here, instead of my being so involved, I have to get business done by the other people. And then you want to expand. Man has a nature to go for expansion. Nobody is satisfied in the world. Everybody has a greed, optimum greed, good greed, bad greed. There are so many things. But expansion is required. That's mankind loves it. So when you want to go for expansion, you have to go for offline businesses. So online, as a good startup, you start up, set your business, minimum revenue generation, everything, then go for offline. This is what I suggest. But offline is very pleasant, very pleasant. If you are offering good experiences, nice, very nice infrastructure in your departmental store. People will like to see, people will like to, they are pass their time there, and make your product as a byproduct to buy, apart from the experiences.
Well, I really appreciate your wisdom in the matter. You've clearly thought this through, and surely your shopping centers and your real estate is successful. And, you know,
One minute. Even in my new shopping center, I'm introducing proposal point. Very lovely proposal point. New generation, they like to propose there. So I'm making a good proposal point. When you have a marriage anniversary, your 10, 20, 30th, 45, 45th year, I'm making a good point over there with a lot of flowers, with many experiences, music and everything. Where people will like to visit there.
Sure.
If they are visiting, they will buy some jewelry, of course. They will buy some sweets, some lehenga, some other parts. They will dine there. So right from 300 rupees food to 20,000 rupees fine dining, I'm making available in my campus.
So I have a reflection to support what Salil has just said. When we reopened a shopping center in Cape Town called Cavendish Square for Old Mutual Properties, one of the biggest problems that the managing director at the time had was that we had massive footfall, not as big as we get in India, but none the same. And the interesting thing is that he liked my response. He said, all these people are walking around my shopping center, and they're using my toilets, and they are breathing my air conditioning. My response was, we call these people, look there, and they are ice cream lickers. They're licking their ice cream as they walk around. And I also said to him, Ian, in 1 month, those people won't be saying, look there, they'll be shopping there. And they won't be eating one ice cream, they'll be eating in a fine dine restaurant. I've always had the view that if the experience is right, online or offline, people will buy more. And in retail, from a hardcore retail point of view, we call that upselling, right? It's a lost art. So my final panelist, and I've left you to last, just in case you thought I'd forgotten about you. How can we forget about the man who brought us 4,700 BC popcorn? How? So it's actually interesting. Last night when I was on the plane up, I was watching 2001 Space Odyssey. And what I like most about your popcorn is that it comes in like a pillow, and it takes me 3 hours to break the pillow because it's so well sealed. And we were talking earlier that this is incredibly important in your business. Please introduce yourself and explain your business and speak to the point about how you as a foodie have been successful and what do you need to do in order to remain so?
Hi, my name is Chirag, and I'm the founder for 4700 BC. We are known for our popcorns, but we started doing other snacks also, so we're now becoming a complete snacking company. I think, to Jonathan's point, right, I mean, food is a relatively very different business, right, because the touch points are very different, right? So you go in a mall, you want to have live counters where you consume food, right? You are going on a trip, so you go to a nearest retail store and grab stuff, right? Whereas a lot of online purchase is more planned purchase right now, right? So you have a party at your home, you're buying snacks online, right? You have a monthly grocery planned for the household, and you go and purchase that, right? So, but there's a lot of impulsive buying on food and snacks happening on the ground also, right? So I think for us, it's very important to be everywhere where a consumer is looking for snacks, right? So I think from day one, we try to be, because we are in a category which was not well established in India, right? Ready-to-eat popcorns was not an outdoor activity, right? People were more eating at home, making in a cooker, on a microwave, right? So we have to create use cases of when you can have popcorns or when you can have snacks, new age snacks. So we have to be everywhere where a use case can be defined, right? So you are roaming in a mall, right? And you're spending 2-3 hours, right? You want to grab a nice snack, right? You want to have a popcorn in your hand and roam around in the mall. We did a lot of use cases with airlines, railways, where people were consuming chips while sitting in a train, or people were consuming some other snacks in an airline, right? We wanted to be in those places, right? So one of the successful factors for us to grow as a company or build as a good snacking company is to define those use cases for our own products, right? And that's what we've been doing over the past few years, be it all the places where consumers are consuming the product. Digital is providing convenience right now more than, especially in the snacking category, right? Hey, I forgot to order something, can I quickly order, right? Amazon was not, marketplaces were not the perfect use cases for food, but I think quick commerce has become a very good use cases for food, because if something is forgot or something is done on the last moment, I think that's where people are going and buying those things. And snacking is still very impulsive, right? My kid has asked for something, my kid has asked for a chocolate, my kid has asked for chips, can I quickly buy and not go to a retail store nearby? I think that's where the quick commerce is helping. But I think overall, to be successful in a food business, because food is available everywhere in all spectrum of retail, whether online, offline, we have to be everywhere, and that's what we feel.
I had the privilege of opening India's largest mall in Bangalore many years ago. And firstly, I'm proud to say that it's still standing and trading exceptionally well. The second thing is that when we were doing our strategic leasing planning, I worked with a most remarkable man whom I had to argue with every second of every day. I learned a lot. It was always my view that it was always food first in a strategic leasing plan. I see you nodding. Yes. To the extent that as I headed up the project, I said to him as my head of leasing, Amit, I want 20% of my mall occupied by food. And he was shocked. Can you imagine? 20% on area of 1 million square foot. It's a lot of space. And we achieved it. And the interesting thing is that from a trading point of view, 22% of all sales came from food, certainly in the first 2 to 3 years. Why? It's because India shops on its stomach. I'll repeat that. India shops on its stomach. And do you know how we know that? And this is a point that is common to everybody on this panel. We know that because God gave us 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a mouth. Use it in that proportion. We watched our customers, went to every mall, went to every food court, and we watched how people ate. That's rich coming from me. I'm South African. But in India, we do things very differently. We have a special way of eating. Home food is probably the biggest competitor to a shopping center's food offering. And you're in the home. How are you going to remain successful, do you think, in your business?
So I think for us, one of the biggest point is obviously innovation, right? So we have to, India is a very, so food, I would say India and food is very, there's a lot of opportunities there still, right? So if you go internationally and consume snacks, you will find a lot more options compared to India, right? India is still a very namkeen kind of a market where Haldirams and Balajis and all these people are dominating, right? But that has also kind of not brought new products into Indian market, right? So I think for us to stay relevant and being a new age company, right, we want to bring innovation into India. And that's one of our core areas, right? So innovation could be in product, innovation could be in packaging, and innovation could be the way we sell the product, right? So it could be at all levels, right? So, so one of the most successful stories for us is to build a brand and consumption habits is being present in across all airlines, right? So the kind of TG we target are traveling in airlines, right? The kind of people have time to look at the product or read about the product when they're traveling, right? Because there's no internet, less internet in a train. So I think one of the biggest innovation I would say we have done is being present in all those places and did our marketing right. So I think innovation continues to be our key area, right? Airlines are looking for new products, retailers, consumers are looking for new products, and we bring and do those test cases at the right places and build that category, right? And that's something we'll continue to do. So whether it is doing an experiential zone in a mall where we come and say, hey, you're gonna roam the mall for next 3 hours, why don't you try something like this, right? To our railway platform where people are buying for their travel thing, or to an airport or within an airlines. I think that's something we'll continue to do as we grow, and I think that's what distinguishes us from other brands in the market.
Bravo. At the risk of upsetting Anish, and it's never my intention to do that because we've known each other a long time, he and I. And I do, however, I know that I've got 4 minutes left, and one of the biggest challenges being a moderator with such an incredible panel is that there are so many of them. There are 5 of them, and everybody has to have talk time. That's my responsibility, and I've been pretty good. But actually, there are more people there than there are on stage. I'm going to invite a question. So whoever puts their hand up first for this panel, this has to be the question of the morning. Who's going to ask the one question? Do I see hands? 1 hand. No? All right, then Anish, you're very lucky because I want to sum up, if you don't mind. All right. Let it be said that the moderator asked for questions, and is that a hand? No, wait. All right, well, yes, ma'am. Speak loud and clear in the microphone, please.
Sure. How do you plan your investment for any marketing strategy?
Just say that again.
How do you plan your investment for any marketing strategy? Like, see, marketing is a key role, right? So how do you plan your investment?
See, the marketing is very simple tool which is coupled with a strategic fact which are backed by lot of research and lot many expenditure on consultant backed by finest product. This is how the sequence operates. Your Apple is super duper hit because the product is astronomical good. So it starts from researches, what is need in the market. Very simple. You will sell what is required. And whatever you want to invent has already been invented. Assume that. Then you have to think new. Whatever you want to invent has already been invented. Even for the new invention, you need lot many research what to invent. You start from there, make a very good design, product. If your product is good, then or whatever is your audience, make a strategy. Strategies are pull and push, both. Both works very well. It depends. So you need good consultant of marketing for that. My offline services are available.
It seems that
free of cost.
It seems that you've just enjoyed a masterclass.
Yeah.
All in a minute.
So this is a, like I says, your marketing is 90% of your time required to establish a product. Designing is comparatively easy, manufacturing is easy. Putting that into national and international market, that is an art. So that's a very specialized subject. You have to take master classes for that. Or, very simple, rise early, spend an hour in deep thinking, you'll find a solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Real estate person, same as me, rises early, same as me, works hard. I think these are characteristics of a successful business person, I'm guessing. So I'm going to sum up, if I may. I'm going to do it in, I suppose, 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to be severely I'm going to make him upset. Today we learned that it's important to do your research. And if you don't know, ask. Find out. You have to ask, and you have to research, and you have to know your market. Yeah? So I'm looking at the panel. You're the experts, and I'm summing up what you said, gentlemen. The second thing is that you've got to get close to your customer. You have to get close to your customer. You have to get under their skin. You have to understand what they want, even if they don't say what they want. Yeah? You've got to somehow understand what they think they want. And for me in the shopping center business, that is the point of success, when I can preempt what a customer wants. You've got to offer in your business and to outside interested parties metrics. In real estate, it's return on investment, and it's trading density, and it's average customer purchase, and it's rent to turnover ratio. It's real simple. You've noticed it's simple words. I have no idea what comes out of my colleagues and friends and panelists here when they talk about metrics. They talk about the MXP and the RDW. I haven't a clue. I wish your industry would speak a language, spell it out. But we all have metrics, and the point being that if you have metrics, are you dealing with the outcomes so that your business remains successful? There are rules of engagement. There are rules for the way in which you conduct your business, whether it's in real estate or whether it is in the online. There is a deep experiential element to what we share together online and in the shopping centers. People like to be seen and people like to see others. You can't get more guttural, visceral and basic than that. It is the essence of retail. I call it touch. How do I get to my customer is to open my mouth and get them to start talking to me. Difficult online unless you've got these lovely little bots, right? But how do you get to your customer and get them to experience? That, I think, is a challenge. Rental, I don't believe, is a big issue. It's a cost. Innovation has to be at the core of everything that we do in real estate and in retail and in online. Our customers, particularly those customers in India, are so savvy, ladies and gentlemen. The world is in their cell phone. They know exactly what's happening internationally and elsewhere. Innovation has to be core to a successful business. And if I may end by saying that as with all things relating to retail, it's that passion, it's that enthusiasm. That's actually what's going to keep us all in business. Ladies and gentlemen, the panel, thank you.